Do you know what Mike Tyson, Steve Jobs, Kobe Bryant, and some of your other heroes have in common? They all had to be consistent. To get to the success that all humans are chasing, you will undoubtedly need
Consistency.
Consistency.
Consistency is key.
You probably heard this 1,000 times because throughout the history of humanity, consistency has proven to be one of the core principles of improvement. You can say it was pretty consistent.
Shut the fuck up.
I turned myself from the laziest, most self-destructive person to being insanely consistent with this one mindset change that I want to share with you in this video. I've completed 469 workouts, meditated 7,550 minutes, took 334 cold showers, and read over 50 books in the last 16 months. By the way, if you're wondering why I know all of these numbers, I'll tell you later. It actually plays a part in all of this. But right now, I mainly want to focus on the mindset of getting consistent. Because there's all these tools, all these habit trackers, all this bullshit you can do. But the most important thing you have to take onto you is a way of thinking. If you imagine life, it's not a straight line. It's ups and downs, right? Whenever you're up, it all feels amazing and all feels awesome. And when you're down, it doesn't. You hate everything. You don't want to do anything. And that's when the gaps in consistency start to form. But that's the problem. Did you hear the word that I said? It all feels amazing. When you're down, it all feels horrible. The problem word is feels. I'm not gonna edit this video, don't know why. I pretend like there's going to be something there. You know what? I'll put feels there. Who cares? Okay. The problem word is feels. Who gives a shit about what it feels like? No, like actually, before you click off, this is super powerful, bro. You have to learn how to disregard what it feels like. You have to just look at the things you have to do with no emotion and just complete the tasks no matter what it feels like, because you know exactly what to do. That's the funny part. Like, everyone knows exactly what to do. A fat guy knows exactly what not to eat. Me, as a guy who can barely speak and hates speaking, especially in the morning, you know, it's 5 a.m. right now. I have to work the entire day cutting hair and I know exactly what to do. The problem is, it just sucks waking up, opening your eyes and remembering that I have to get ready, turn all these fancy lights on, and then try my best to bring the best energy to the video. But that's exactly what's gonna move me from one point to the other. Let's give some more examples. A student fucking hates studying, but there's an exam which is going to fucking ruin his life or ruin her life if she doesn't pass. Oh, maybe I should sort my notebooks. Maybe I should highlight my notes. No, why would I study for the exam? That's super hard. But that's the only thing that is going to fucking move the needle. The way I got consistent is that I disregarded my feelings. No matter what it felt like, you just have to complete the day. Because if you start relying on your feelings too much, they are going to take hold of your life, where it should be the opposite way around. I would actually encourage you to feel bad most of the time. Like 80% of the time, you should feel shit.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
When you feel shit, don't get worried. That's how I feel, and that's how I guarantee all the people you look up to feel. There's not going to be any balance. You're going to feel shit most of the time, but that's good. Look out for it. Make yourself feel shit, and not in a self-destructive way, but in a way that builds you. Once you start reminding yourself every day that it doesn't really matter what it feels like, you just have to unemotionally complete the day, you're going to go super far, my boy. Why did I say that? Alright, let me record a quick explanation video, because while listening to that, I can understand how stupid it sounds and how it might sound confusing to some people. What I mean by that is to not literally hate your existence, but it's not gonna be pretty, especially in the early days. There's a quote from a book which I really like. No, I don't want to get associated with this book, but this quote is pretty good, and I lost it. What it said is basically that everything, every moment in your life is either a test or a celebration. So there's not gonna be many celebrations, buddy, especially not in your early 20s, because there's nothing to celebrate. What are you going to celebrate? Your birthday and then your mother's birthday. That's all. There's nothing more to celebrate. So what I mean by feeling shit is that everything is going to be a test for you, because you have to prove that you got something to celebrate. And later in life, that's why you might disagree that all those people feel shit. They might not feel shit all the time because they are billionaires. If they are really ambitious people, they could still find something to work for and create more tests for themselves. But for you and for me, for basically nobodies, we haven't done anything in life that is worth celebrating. Everything is going to feel shit, and everything is going to be a test, and tests are going to feel shit. It's not like you have diarrhea and you're about to pass out, not that kind of shit. Feeling shit in a sense of like this horrible discomfort of tiredness of decisions that you have to make to put yourself on the right trajectory. Feeling shit when there's your friends inviting you to go drink, and the bad feeling of having to actually use your brain to know that, okay, this might not be the best, I should stay home and then wake up early the next day. It's going to feel shit to not hit the snooze button on your alarm. It's going to feel shit to work on that complicated task that you've been trying to avoid the whole week. And all of these are going to test you if you deserve what you want or you don't. You want to be consistent, just be consistent. Why have this belief that it's hard? Imagine how it would feel if you disregarded that it's hard, but just did it anyway, because you know exactly what to do. Then do it. It's that simple. You don't need any hacks, any tools, any bullshit. You just have to do it. This is so fucking stupid. You've heard this advice 1,000 times, but it's that simple. Just do it. This is not a Nike commercial, bro. It's just the fact that everyone tries to think of so much other bullshit when essentially it's just you and the activity that you have to do. So thinking about all this bullshit will not get it done. So shut the fuck up about how you feel. At the end of the day, you will feel favors when you don't do it. And what if you are afraid of doing a certain activity that you have to do? You're not gonna like the answer. The only way to cure fear from a certain activity is to just go out and do it. That's the best and most effective way to cure fear. Just to experience the activity and to just repeatedly do it until the fear disappears. And fear isn't going to ever disappear. Fear will always be there until you continue to grow, because fear is like the best reflection of you actually stepping behind your comfort zone. It's way easier being disciplined than not. Because when you're not disciplined, I don't know how to read. Because when you're not disciplined, you have to fight all those demons that come when you slacked on your activities. And that's way worse. Okay, it basically feels like I'm sharing 1,000-year-old advice. And it sounds super cliche. But the thing is, the cliche stuff actually works. Like, there's a reason why you heard all of these things your whole life. There's a reason why your parents were trying to tell you to read books. There's a reason why all the Instagram accounts with the cool quotes always post quotes saying, be yourself, never give up. Because this shit is fundamental advice from thousands of years ago. The thing is, you have to be in the certain position in your life for this to click. Imagine reading a book about confidence, right? You've always heard it, oh, fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. But that one day you were looking for this exact piece of advice, and it is there. Even though you've seen it before, it never clicked. But this time, it's gonna click. And that's what I'm hoping for you with this video. Of course, you've heard this shit 1,000 times. I'm not saying something that has never been heard before. When I heard another person like me say stuff like this, that's when it clicked. Not when my mom was telling me, because I thought my mom would just give me orders, and that's when I never took it seriously. But when a person similar to you, so maybe if you're similar to me, if you're the same age or whatever, if you're in the same position, I'm hoping I have provided the moment where it just clicked for you and you realize like, aha, yeah, okay, I actually just have to do it. I got a cool fact for you. There's a part of your brain which is called the anterior midcingulate cortex, and it's actually been studied a lot recently, and researchers have found out that this brain part is heavily associated with your willpower and your actual will to live. How it works is that every time you do something that you don't want to do, it actually physically gets bigger, it grows. It's actually measurable to see how a person has lived their life. They actually found that this brain part, it was smaller in obese people and bigger in athletes and bigger in people who have lost weight, bigger in people who have consistently done something they didn't feel like doing. And the way it can grow, the same way it can shrink when you don't engage it often. So that means it requires constant upkeep to not shrink, because when you let it shrink too far, then you will feel the same kind of friction when you're trying to go back. By the way, I did not come up with this. I learned it from this podcast. It's really good, especially complements the whole side of this video really well. So go and check it out after you watch this though. And the best part about this is you will wake up and for the first time in your life be glad that you are waking up as yourself and you are not wishing to be someone else. I had this my whole life. I always wished I was someone else. But once you start living like this, you can't help but be proud of yourself and happy that you are yourself and you are on your own journey. Tell me, bro, does it feel good to be a spectator in your own life? Right now you're arguing that doing this, being super consistent, always doing the uncomfortable stuff will make your life sad. But in reality, if you tried that, and I encourage you, try it for a month. That's what I'm doing. I've been in a little bit of a rut, to be honest. And an experiment I'm doing is that I'm just going to be completely disregarding my feelings and my emotions and just acting completely logically for 1 month. You can afford to do it for 1 month, right? What it means is that I have to complete every single thing that I told myself I was gonna do. And just for 1 month. After that you can go back to your depressive life. But try it for 1 month and then you will realize what is actually painful. Because how you've recently been living, having all those dreams just sitting on the dusty shelf while you are just wasting your life away, that's the most painful part. Because the worst part is you know that you could be doing more, but you just can't get yourself to do it, because when you sit down and actually want to do the things that you dream of, you realize how hard it is and then you back off. So you're literally one step away. You just have to do it, and that's the hardest part. But I actually disagree. When we zoom out, that's gonna make everything much easier and much more pleasant. Because I believe after this 1 month has passed and I've done everything I said I would, even though it's absolutely ridiculous to live like basically a robot for 30 days straight, not missing a single good habit. But I'm pretty sure even though it's going to be hard, the way my mind will feel will be absolutely phenomenal. And that's when you're going to get addicted. So try this for 1 month, then decide logically, okay, is me being absolutely lethal, living to my potential, doing the most important and difficult tasks versus than me basically spectating my own life from a distance, watching the days and weeks just go by and suddenly turning 30 with no actual dreams fulfilled throughout this lifetime. If you decide that's actually the better option, then I fully respect that. But it would be silly of you to not at least give it a try. There's two things that you have to absolutely realize. And when I realized these, I've never been the same person, truly. The first one is that the most important tasks will always be the hardest. Like, I've never seen this shit fail. They will always have the most friction to them. I think that's life's way of filtering through the bunch of idiots who say they want to do stuff, but they never do it. That's when there's like a bit of a wall, a barrier, something to go through, and only the people who can get through it consistently, those are the ones who can reach a destination which we call success or whatever. It's absolutely true. And once you start to understand this, you will start to look at the tasks in a way that you will appreciate how hard it is, because then you will, okay, you have to use some logic for this. If playing the guitar is absolutely irrelevant to you and you hate doing it, the fact that it's going to be hard is not going to get you closer to your goals. I mean, in a way, you have to use logic to see if the activity aligns with your goals. And then if it's really fucking hard, congratulations, you have to fucking do it. The second mindset change that helped me is pretty similar. What you have to do is exactly the opposite of what you want to do. So imagine that you finish work, come back into your room, oh, the bed looks so nice, oh, there must be so many good YouTube videos on the homepage, the messages in your phone from your friends inviting you outside look super exciting, and then there's your work task. From all of these activities, that's the least desirable thing. But the funny thing is, you know that that exact thing is the thing you have to do, because then tomorrow there's not going to be any free time, and the day after there's not, and then there's a deadline, and then it's over. These two things, just always keep it in mind, and it will give your brain the reassurance that you actually have to do this. And if you don't do this, then it's just your loss. Like, you will actually have to deal with all the painful and negative emotions afterward, because they are eventually going to come. So there's no escape from this, really. Okay, I said I was going to explain what those numbers in the beginning were, and I said that they play a role in my ability to be consistent throughout this time. And they absolutely do. Like, that's pretty much a separate video topic on its own, but since I'm a nice guy, I'll show you right now. So what those numbers are basically numbers from my habit trackers. I'm fully realizing that I've put habit trackers and bullshit in the same sentence in the beginning, but that was not to say that habit trackers are bullshit. I was just simply prioritizing the fact that you first have to get your mind in the right place, and then you can use different tools like habit trackers and all sorts of stuff. It's true. I don't think these are regular habit trackers because they mean something. What I mean by that is that if you're a statistics person, if there is a thing like that, I mean, I feel like I'm a statistics person. I always enjoyed looking at stats and just cool facts, and I've always had this wish of being able to replay your life's cool statistics when you die. Well, that's not possible, but with this method, it kind of is. And it's not just cool, but it is the absolute best accountability method of all time. Let me show you. So this is my journal. If you don't have a journal, I really want to make a video about journaling, bro. Journaling is probably the closest thing to my heart because I've put in a lot of fucking effort into making this journal as helpful as possible. So if you want to see a bit like this, comment Tommy make journal with. Okay, so this is my journal. If you're going to ever buy a journal, buy the most expensive and the sexiest one you can find, because then you will appreciate it more, and that helps with the habit trackers as well. Regular habit trackers is just a piece of paper on a wall which you can just scrape off and then forget about it forever. But if you keep these journals, and I have 3 already, that means you will eventually look back at them. And even if not, at least for that year, you are constantly looking at them. And I came up, I'm sure someone has done this before, but I actually came up on my own. I haven't watched any video about this. I had this idea to do a monthly tracker. I don't even know why. It was in 2022 when I first just tracked how many workouts I did. And my monthly trackers looked extremely different than to what they look like now. It started from a slim box of just workouts and maybe meditation, to then being a whole page, and now it's actually 2 pages. And now the perfect amount, because I track a lot of habits. Some people might call this extreme and stupid and weak for not being able to go through life without tracking my habits. Does it really offend you that I draw a line for myself every time I show some love to my mother? Like, it's funny because the fact that I can put a line in my notebook makes me want to do it more. It sounds sad, but okay, who am I hurting with this? At the end of the day, it has a positive impact. So what I mean by this, actually, I can show you. Yeah, perfect. So this would be a whole month. This is the month of April. Here, I write out my goals for the month. What I want to achieve from every single habit. I want to achieve 30 workouts, 500 minutes meditated, 500 pages read, 100 hours of deep work, whatever. Like, it's pretty individual. So I set out my goals, and then at the end of the month, from what I did throughout the month, from all the habits I tracked, I will write out the result. And this is awesome because you just can compare all the months. Like, this would be March, February, January. You get what I mean. Like, all the months are different colors because it's pretty and you care more when it's pretty. To add to the habits, this is probably the best thing ever. It's called a self-check system. I'll probably have to show this on a picture because you can't see it, but essentially what it means is that all the areas in life that you care about, for example, it's like workouts, screen time, reading, cold shower, sleep, deep work, diet, cuts because I'm a hairdresser or a barber, goals, love, money, all of the stuff you care about. You write out the name of the thing. For me, it starts with workouts, and then you say how you did this month and what you're gonna change to do it better next month. So if your sleep was bad, then you say, oh my god, it was so bad. I, for some reason, always struggle to go to bed in time. So this time I'm going to set an alarm to go to bed, for example. You have to think about this, and of course your life is going to be different than mine, but then you have to take your own advice and take it to the next month. And bro, if you've been slacking on deep work or something meaningful, you can fucking roast yourself in this notebook, and then, I don't know, like, it for me, it helps. For me, the next month is automatically going to be better, and then, oh my god, and then and then there's always going to be dips and like ups and downs, but when you zoom out again, you're going to be way more consistent. Okay, I keep remembering stuff to add to this video, but I promise this is the last time. So this is a video about confidence. And I forgot to mention one of the best things that improved my confidence. What am I stupid? Consistency. Fuck. My brain doesn't work anymore. So this is a video about consistency, and I forgot to mention one of the most important things that helped me improve my consistency like crazy. The alarm that just went off a few seconds ago, that's the thing I want to talk about to be better. And then, oh my god, when you decide that you are actually determined to try this and to actually live logically and to not fall victim to your emotions, these alarms will take you a very long way. I'm not sure if you've ever noticed, in the evening you are always way more mindful than in the morning. In the morning you are way more susceptible to act according to your emotions because you might feel overwhelmed from all the activities that you have to do, and there's a high chance that you just skip everything, and then in the evening you will eventually regret it. Then you tell yourself, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna do it. Then you wake up and then, wow, it's hard again. What you have to do is in the evening, when you can think logically and actually know what would be the best for you to do the next day, you absolutely have to plan out the day. And doing a to-do list is not enough. When I did a to-do list, I did like 3 to 4 things from the to-do list, and then I wasted a lot of time in certain times of the day. With setting alarms, and not just 3 or 4, it's literally 50 alarms per day. It takes a bit of effort, but when you do it, and the only thing you have to tell yourself is to turn your brain off, and the next day just follow everything that the individual alarms will say. Everything, like literally every single activity. You don't even have to think about it. Look at it. Okay, I should go and take out the trash. Nice, I'll go and take out the trash. No questions, you have to follow it, because if you mess up on one alarm, your whole day will like get messed up. And that's how it's super easy to wake up. You still feel the pain every time I open my eyes. It's hard to believe that, oh my god, it's actually the morning and I have to do all this stuff. But when you know there's so many alarms that you have to follow, and if you don't just get the fuck out of bed immediately, then the rest of the day will get delayed. I'll put an example on how it looks, and the day before, always before you go to bed, you always have to do it. I always feel this friction when it comes to setting those alarms, because it takes a good 10 minutes to set it up. But I always know that if I don't do it, the next day is just going to be not even halfway as good as it could be with the alarms. When you have the mindset that, okay, I'm ready to do whatever my alarms say, this is an extremely good method to just be a fucking robot. Because you're not gonna set alarms to watch YouTube videos, aren't you? So if the alarms aren't gonna say watch YouTube videos, then you should not do it. It's hard to stay consistent though when it gets messed up in the morning, like when your mom calls you to go do this and this. Of course you cannot be a dumbass about it, and you still have to adjust. That's a pretty rare case. So most of the times this will help you insanely, and it just frees up some space in your brain, because you actually don't have to think about what you have to do. You will never miss a meeting, you will never miss a phone call, you will never miss any of these things, because it's in your phone, and then you can sleep better, you can do other activities better, because it doesn't have to keep circling around in your brain. Your brain is for having ideas, not for storing them. So just get it out of your brain as soon as possible, set the alarm and have the peace of mind, and just follow the steps that you set yourself the day before when you were acting logically. The next day you will wake up, feel the pain, but just do it and try it for a week, month. You will realize this is the way to live, even though it sounds super painful. Nice. So just do the work, it's going to feel much better than wasting your life away, having to battle all those demons and then giving up on your dreams. And there's a really cool quote that I liked from this book that I actually want to share with you. And it encaptures the point of the video pretty well. The ticket to victory is bringing your best when you feel the worst. Epic, so now that you know how to be consistent, you will need to be careful not to burn out. And there's a certain way of thinking that you have to adopt to be absolutely unstoppable with that as well. So if you want to find out about that, click and watch this video right now. Thanks for watching.